Hi everyone, welcome to Aylesbury Answers edition number 4. We're going to continue with some questions given by the people of the Facebook page. So we'll start with Sherilyn Bateman, who asks, what inspires you to share your knowledge? Aylesbury and its history is safe in your hands. Thank you very much. What inspires me to share my knowledge? I don't know, really. It's just nice to do, isn't it? I mean, in particular, the photographs I share, their value lies in what people remember, really. So it's only that, and it's a little bit of knowledge goes a long way, doesn't it? It's certainly interesting finding out about the various things about Aylesbury. Very old place, as we know. A lot's happened here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Another one from Rosie Cole. Our walks to the Tech, 1968, from the bus station was across the railway bridge and down a lane by a brook. Was this always called California Brook? As I wasn't aware then it had a name. California, well, I have done a little bit of digging into that. I think the earliest reference to that was sometime during the 1850s or 60s. I don't know this for sure, but I would guess it's something to do with commemorating the gold rush in America. It might not be true, but before then it was called Cook's Close. And that really is the land, probably roughly where Morrison's car park is now, stretching down to the brook. Robert Gibbs, in his Book of Aylesbury, describes that area as being full of earthworks, and the odd pond, I think he said. So to me that sounds like it was something to do with the friarage. Would make sense, because you've got the watercourses, both Bear Brook and California, going along there. So, you know, they are man-made in that they've been redirected from the original brook, joining up with the mill at Oxford Road, which is long gone. Right, another question. Rebecca Karl asks, what era of Aylesbury are you the most interested in and why? That's hard to answer. I mean, when I think of Aylesbury, I go back over 2,000 years, you know. The Iron Age hill fort settlement interests me just as much as more recent history, like the 1950s and 60s. I don't know. I don't think I've got a preference, really. And as to why, I don't know. I mean, it's a bit like asking why do you like a certain food or a drink. You just do. It's interested me for a long time. Oh, here's a good one that will interest you lot. Cheryl Shelley asks, are there any documented maps of the alleged tunnel system between the old Crown Court in Market Square and the older pubs in the town, or how far they actually went? Well, I don't actually know that they exist to the extent that people say they do. I've not personally seen any. Now I know there are cellars and basements in all of these old buildings. Market Square used to be full of buildings in the centre there, well, certainly the bottom half anyway. There was a jumble of buildings and they did have cellars, so and wells, of course. We know the well down below what was Court's furniture place on the top corner of Market Square and Market Street there. What is it? It's an estate agents now, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, I mean, I brought this subject up before in Aylesbury Remembered on the Facebook page, and I had some weird and wacky comments on there saying tunnels used to go from Hartwell House all the way to Market Square. I mean, what's that, 2 miles? Come on. Don't be silly. I don't know. I think people see a passageway underground. They see some bricks at the end of it with an arch and assume it goes on for miles and miles or so. Well, not maybe miles and miles. Like a couple of 100 metres, say that. But you also have to factor in that there's quite a gradient from St Mary's Church down to, well, certainly the Bell anyway, down Market Square. That's quite a hill down there. I don't know, is the honest answer. There might well be passageways that go on for a fair bit, but any more than that I can't really say. And I don't believe there's any maps, and I certainly haven't seen any documents about it at all. I did try and look in the old newspapers to see if they were mentioned, but I couldn't find a thing. So I don't know. Maybe it's an urban myth. It would be good to investigate. I did go down under Parrott and Coles just before they closed and had a good look around down there. That was quite interesting. I remember lifting up this small little block of stone, and underneath there was a well down in the basement. That was quite an interesting find. That wasn't expecting that. Stuart Battersby asks, how did Aylesbury get its name? Well, that's from Aylesbury, isn't it? The local chieftain. Probably sometime in the Saxon times. We know of a reference to Aylesbury in 571 AD. I think there was a skirmish here or something with the Danes, so the story goes. But yeah, there's not really much evidence other than that, really. Aylesbury. Berg is a Saxon term for a settlement on a hill. Obviously, Aylesbury's on the hill because of the Iron Age hill fort, as I mentioned earlier. And the ditch of that survived through to Saxon times. I think it was redug at some point. So, yeah, a Saxon stronghold. We know nothing about this man, Egil. And of course, over the centuries, the name got corrupted a bit and changed. Various spellings, and now we've ended up with what we've got at the moment. One from Paul Timms. I seem to remember as a child there was a large metal chimney with a spiral on it, visible from the Schweppes roundabout in the vicinity of the prison grounds. Presumably it was part of the Schweppes factory. I've never seen any photos of it though. Well, here's one now, showing it. Yes, indeed, it was part of Schweppes. There used to be another chimney on the site, which was part of Morehouse's jam factory, which was there previously. That was a brick chimney, but this one was, as you say, metal spiralled one. Very unusual. I certainly remember it as a child. Yeah, very unusual. Here's a question from Scott Edwards. If you could travel back in time in Aylesbury, just for a day, when would it be, and what would you most want to see? Oh, well, who knows? I mean, as I said earlier, I'm interested in all of Aylesbury's history. Would be interesting to see that, like, the first buildings on the site back in prehistory, over 2,000 years ago. Maybe the what did the first church look like? Because we know that the present church is when was that started? About 1170, I think, something like that. 12th century. It's got a Saxon crypt, so there must have been a Saxon church on the site before then. What did that look like? Who knows? Well, I think the 1950s would be nice, wouldn't it? I've seen so many films of it and plenty of photographs. It's such a colourful and smart looking town at the time. And certainly the old two-tone cars driving around would be nice to see. And the women in their summer dresses looking so smart, and the men dressed in their suits and wearing hats and everything. And the music, of course, the late 50s, rock and roll. Yeah, it would have been interesting. It'd be a bit like Marty McFly, wouldn't it? Yeah, suddenly roll into Market Square and there's the Coach and Horses and Cross Keys pub on the one side, and the Bull's Head. I could have a drink in there maybe. Yeah, that would be nice. And I'll take my camera with me as well. Yeah. That actually would be a good idea, wouldn't it? If I take my my camera and I'll go around and take some high-res photos of everything. Of the places I haven't seen before, because there's plenty that isn't photographed. Frustratingly. Yeah, that would be so interesting. Well, I think I'll wrap this up for now. That's quite a few questions answered. Very good ones as well. So keep them coming. And I'll see if I can answer some more in the next episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.